This video is going to be more focused on how I am helping prepare for the upcoming season that we will be starting pretty soon. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our food storage and our preserving techniques and kind of how and where we house those. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer, and today I'm just talking about the things that we try to do during the winter time while our garden is not in full bloom. If you're a gardener, you're familiar with how much work is entailed during that time of year when you include in the harvesting and the processing of your homegrown fruits and vegetables. So during the winter time, we tend to have a little bit more of a slowdown and a little bit more quietness, but that gives me, at least here in the Pacific Northwest, we get a lot of rain and a lot of snow and just kind of bad weather during the winter time. So that gives us an opportunity to focus more on the things on the inside and what we can do to kind of prep and prepare for the upcoming year. So if you can see right now, I'm in our garage. I have a section in our garage that we use to store our food. And this is kind of our, I guess, kind of the off-limits side when it comes to what you would normally put in a standard garage. So this week, one of the projects that I wanted to tackle was getting ready for the gardening season and the harvest season so we can start preserving everything that we do. And typically we keep those on shelves in the garage, but the shelving that we have, we want to reinforce that a little bit more. So as you can see behind me here, these are the brackets that we use for our shelves. I'm taking all of that down right now and everything that was on it. I'll show you here in a second all the canning supplies and things that we had on there. But we want to make sure that we reinforce these a little bit more because I know I'm going to be putting up a lot more. At least that's our intention, is to kind of put up a lot more this year to hold us over throughout the year. So we're going to reinforce these guys right here. And then if you look behind right here, you can see the laser line right now. But if you look behind, these are our storage bins for like our dry ingredients, and I'll go over those more with you guys here in a little bit. But for now, I just kind of wanted to show you what my project for this week is in preparation for the upcoming gardening season and for the upcoming preserving and harvest season. So I'll show you guys in a little bit what this looks like once we actually get these reinforced and get our shelvings back on track. Here we started taking down some of our canned goods and things that we needed to organize and purge at the same time. We've got our first set of standards going between each one of our existing standards. Here we're just making sure everything is level and everything is measuring correctly. And then lastly, our standards and brackets are complete. We are ready to put our shelves up. So these are the shelves right here that go onto that area. They look like this. But if you look really closely, you can see here that there's like, there's a bit of a lip right here. So this is the front part of the shelf. And then this is where the canning stuff goes. So there's a little bit of a lip right here to prevent anything from falling off or falling over whenever they're on the shelves. So we're getting the shelves in finally, getting to the end point of that, but you can see right here, like in between each one of these, we added an additional standard right here. And then the brackets, of course, are all holding the shelves up. So we did an additional standard, which is this run right here of metal. And then we did the additional brackets that go inside them as well. Right here you can see. So we did those in between each existing one that we had just to give it some extra support. I'm going to flip this around so that you can see what the actual units look like as a whole now that we've started putting things back on and we're up towards the top and so forth. So you can see there we started storing down here all of our jars that we need to fill up for the year. Up here, we'll do a shelf. We typically do like veggies along here. Right here, we usually do some fruits, and then along here, we'll do some meats and so forth. And then up on the top is where we keep kind of our longer term storage, things that last longer than like the 5 to 10 year mark. That's what we'll keep up in this area right here. So we finally got all of that put together. As you can see, this is where all of our jars that I have right here So these are the things that we've kind of already processed for this year. We're starting to run low on them because we try to use it up throughout the year. And then we do have like some emergency food type freeze-dried stuff until we actually start freeze-drying our own, which hopefully that will be coming soon. And then this section right here, we are gonna add another shelf up here so that we can start storing some more of our dry goods that we keep on hand throughout the year. But these are our bigger containers right here that we use more for, we tend to use those more for dry goods and typically things that we order from Azure Standard that we cannot either harvest or grow and so forth for ourselves here. So we have salt, we have sugar, we have flour. I do have some pasta that we use throughout the year. I do keep that in here as well. I have some rice that we keep in here, some steel cut oats, some regular oats, those kinds of things. So I'll flip this around so you can see what that looks like as well. All right, so you see this is our dry goods. Right here we have 8 of these. We're gonna add another shelf right about this area right here. And then on top of that, I'll show you the smaller containers that we keep things like beans and baking goods in there. So I'll flip that around here and show you in just a sec. All right, so I think that's break time for me right now. I'm gonna go ahead and head inside and grab a bite to eat. I'm getting a little hungry. So I do feel productive. I feel like we got a lot accomplished today that we wanted to do. Remember, we had to remove all of this stuff and then we had to install a lot of the standards and brackets that we wanted to do. We installed some extra shelves in here and then putting everything back and kind of cleaning up for throughout the year. So we can now do a good inventory. I feel good about the fact that we can do a good inventory on what we have. And then now I know the things that I need to focus on replenishing over the next couple of weeks because we are getting low. And those are things that are gonna hold us over until this next growing season. And then once the growing season hits, we'll start that whole process all over again of being outside in the garden, growing, harvesting, and then processing everything to hold us over for the next year. So stick with us over the next couple of weeks. I'll be showing you my process on what we're going to do to kind of restock all of this. We'll also be talking about other ways that we preserve things. And then I'll also be talking about prepping for this year's garden. So we wanted to go ahead and plan that out, see what it is that we're going to grow, make a list of all of that and get some starts going because here in the Pacific Northwest, our growing season is really short. And so we have to make sure that we start things indoors and a little bit earlier if possible, so that we have a ready and steady, healthy plant to go outdoors when it's time to actually get this garden moving and get that going. So stick with us. Thanks for joining us along this time, and we will see you guys next time.